In the past 6 months, this stock has gone up 63%, but in the last year, it's gone 894%. It gets even better. In 2 years, it's gone up 1,423%. And then the most impressive is in the past 5 years, this stock has gone up 6,996%. It really does show that investing for the long term does pay off. If you would have tried to time all of the pullbacks and the ties for this stock, you would not have gotten this impressive of a return. This is just stressing the point that the long-term investors that are able to buy and hold for years really are the best at this game. So just keep that in mind. I want to be able to help you guys become great investors. This is one stock that I want to cover this week because I learned some important lessons as an investor. I wanted to break that all down for you, share with you what I thought about this as when I found out about it a while back, and what I should have done with it once I found it, and then what you guys can do as well to leapfrog in skill as an investor and be able to grow that much faster when you find good picks. So let's do this. Hey, I remember in 2018 and 2019, I got into stocks seriously and was putting money into the markets with my brokerage account, TD Ameritrade. I was very excited to start putting money into the markets and see my money grow. One of the things that I wasn't very good at was fundamentals. Soon I discovered technicals and strategies around that, looking at the price and seeing how it moved against, say, averages or the MACD, the RSI, indicators like that. Then there was a hurdle of brokerage accounts, and which one do I use? Do I use TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim, or do I use the Cash App, or do I use Robinhood? There was just so many different choices out there that I took a lot of time in trying to figure out which one was best. Probably the biggest thing that was holding me back was fear, and the fear was putting money into the markets and being able to ride out the pullbacks and the rallies that happened with stocks. What I would find myself doing is I would find a good pick or a good stock recommended by somebody, but I would hold off. I wouldn't hit that buy button because I had that fear in the back of my head of, oh, what if this suddenly tanks as soon as I put my money in? So I wasn't thinking like a savvy investor, and I was just focused on the short term. This is something I want to help you guys out with, so just stick around here and I want to share with you how I overcame that and what happened with this stock. From the start, I would use TD Ameritrade's website. They had a great education course on there. I believe it's still on there. And they have some good research tools there looking at the sectors and the industries in the stock market. So what I would do is I'd go in there and I would sort it by which one had the most percentage gain in a year, or say 3 months. And I came across Digital Turbine, ticker symbol APPS. And this was one of those that had just exploded in stock price and had reached about 100%. So I dug into the fundamentals and I had seen that the PE ratio and that their debt to assets were pretty low. So this was something I got pretty excited about. Webull wasn't around yet, and so I wasn't able to see the bar charts of some of the other metrics. Now, if you're not quite sure what the PE ratio is, or ROE acronym is, I'll post a link here for you for my videos explaining those. If you come across some of my other videos and me talking about stocks, subscribe to my channel and you're going to be able to see more of it. I encourage you to do that. It will really jumpstart the journey of your investing, and it will help break down that fear that you might have of putting money into the markets. Once you do put a few dollars into the market, I think a lot of that fear will go away. It'll just melt into the background and you'll be encouraged and you'll want to continually invest more as time goes on. And I think that you will see that that snowball over time will build. As long as you diversify your portfolio, you're patient, and that you do the work. With the TD Ameritrade tools, I was able to discover Digital Turbine, and I had seen that it had some good fundamentals. I was able to see this within the TD Ameritrade website. And so what I was able to do, find this stock, Digital Turbine, and I had the Thinkorswim app downloaded on my phone at that time. And what I did is I placed a buy order for quite a few shares of this company, say like 25 shares. Very excited. I did see some growth with this stock when I had it, but I got paper hands, just meaning that as soon as I saw a pretty good gain, say like 100%, I sold it. The price was at around $4 when I bought it, and then it jumped up to $8 or $9, and I sold my position. And this was, I think, mistake number one as an investor. I wasn't thinking as a long-term great investor. You don't want to be looking for the 100% gains. You want to be looking for the 1,000% gains. What happened was I saw the stock price double, and this got me really excited. I saw that it was a win. I wanted to take some profits, and I thought to myself, all right, it's gone up a lot. I'll take some profits and I'll jump back in when it goes down. Well, what happened was the stock price kept going up, and I missed some of the gains. So I was looking for that pullback, and this was something that I think I could have done better, and that was just to continue to hold the stock long term and not think about it in terms of days, but think about it in more terms of weekly. So this is something that long-term investors are very good at. They're very patient and look at those reports on a quarterly basis every 3 months. What I think has really happened here in the culture of investing is there's been a big focus on finding stocks right now, this instant, finding those penny stocks that are at rock bottom prices, that are under $1, that give you the potential to just exponentially grow in price and gain and be able to get rich quickly. This is just totally opposite from a sound investor, which is totally fine and willing to hold stocks for years and really see the great return, knowing that not all of their picks are going to be all winners, but the few that are going to greatly outweigh all the others. They have a lot less stress, and they don't have that much risk as the ones that do the latter. Make sure to hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video so far. I am just wanting to share with you some of the things that I have encountered in my trades as an investor. The stock market is continually changing, and no one is able to perfectly time and know the trends of, say, the industries. I firmly believe that investors, they inject their personality into how they trade their investments. And if you're the type that is always seeking something new, always wanting to change things up, then you're going to tend to reflect that in your trading strategy with stocks, cryptocurrency, real estate. It's going to bring out your characteristics and your emotions. As a great investor, those people are able to put those into check and really be able to make sound decisions and not let their emotions get in the way when they are investing their hard-earned money. So this is something that I've read books about investing, and I'm wanting to apply it to my own investments. So with stocks and cryptocurrency, I'm now trading with the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim mobile app. I have an account with Cash App and Robinhood. So I have exposure to all three. I realize that they all carry different risks, and they all have different pros that come with having those brokerage accounts, and I'm wanting to diversify my portfolio. With TD Ameritrade getting experience having whole shares of stocks, with the Cash App being able to fractionally invest in the biggest companies out there, and with Robinhood being able to trade with stocks that are on the Amex exchange and be able to trade cryptocurrencies. This is something that TD Ameritrade and Cash App don't have in plentiful amounts. So with that, Robinhood is my smallest, with Cash App being my probably most amount of money I have in the markets right now, and TD Ameritrade being kind of in the middle there. This year as an investor, I told myself I would work on certain things to become a better investor. One of those things was to diversify my portfolio. And boy, did I have some work to do in this category. I had only about 10 stocks in my 401 and say my TD Ameritrade in 2020, early 2020. And that made my portfolio swing up and down wildly when the markets went crazy. Starting this YouTube channel and wanting to become a great investor, I wanted to tag myself as being a diversified investor. And so this is where I wanted to challenge myself to invest in over 50 different stocks, knowing that there are hundreds of very good, sound companies out there that are going to grow in the future. So this is something where it's May 2021, and I now have in my Cash App, my Robinhood account, and my TD Ameritrade account over 50 stocks. So I have met that goal. I'm very happy to be able to diversify my money. If the markets are down, not all of those stocks are down, so I'm able to see a more consistent growth. The other thing that I wanted to challenge myself with was find the strategy that works for you, Levi. What are your goals in the future for retirement, for being financially independent? One of the things that I've been able to get better at is to consistently add money to my brokerage accounts and invest and with dollar cost averaging. So no matter if the markets are going down or the markets are going up, I'm continually adding to my positions. I would say the third thing that I'm working on here in 2021 is to hold my stocks. The saying that I came up with is hold, don't fold. So this is something that is very hard for me to not hit that sell button if I see a particular stock going down 10%. This is very difficult for, I think, any investor to see all the gains that they've made with a stock suddenly be wiped out in a week. Forcing myself to look at weekly charts instead of the daily charts. And this helps me become a more long-term focused investor and not get so caught up on the day-to-day fluctuations of stock prices. What I've realized is that in this type of environment with the social media apps and the news out there, that everything is exaggerated up to the second, and people are purposely pumping and manipulating stock prices for their own gains or party. So this is something that I am confident that if a company is managed well, no matter what happens to the stock price on a daily basis, those companies are going to stand the test of time in the months and years to come. So in all of these apps that I use for investing and websites, they all have the ability to flip to weekly charts and see the prices of a stock on a weekly basis, see when they started, when they ended, and as long as that company is continuing to do well on a quarterly basis, then I stick with them. So this is something that I'm going to have to improve on and work on as the quarters go on. Well, that about wraps up this video on APPS. You can tell that I'm wearing a different shirt, and this is because of due to technical difficulties with my equipment. But APPS is a stock where you're able to find stocks at a very low stock price. It doesn't have to be penny stocks under $1. It can still be $4 or $5 a share, be a solid company, and rise to do a 10x return. So this is something that I look forward to, finding other stocks that may have this high growth potential. Keep in mind though that many stocks take 7 to 10 years to double in price. This is just an exception to the rule, and this company has really outpaced the rest of its subsector. Well, this is something, guys, that I had a lot of fun putting together for you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Stay tuned for other types of videos I'll be creating on stocks and how to look at them and how to find them with the tools that are out there now. Hope you have a good rest of the week. Check out the links below. You can get your free stock with Webull. I do a lot of fundamental analysis with stocks in that app. Great tool. And I also have a resource down there for you if you want to get started with your own YouTube channel and providing you a lower third that's animated. Hope you guys are well. Stay invested. And I'll see you guys in my next video.